Welcome to fourth grade language. This is for lesson 152. We're looking at pages 233 and 234. Pardon me. This is Monday morning, and so this morning you should have watched the chapel that Pastor put up, and you should have taken your math test. So there weren't any videos from me for those two, and so this would be the first video of the morning from me. So hopefully you did well on your math tests and that you were taking your time but doing it, keep continuing to work, not having too much trouble there, and that you watched the chapel and were able to get a blessing from that. So today we are going to be looking more at subject-verb agreement. So yesterday in your, Friday in our lesson, we did page 232. And so I'm going to give the answers to Think A and Think C, okay? So I'm going to give the answers to Think A and Think C. We did the first couple together, so I'll go to number 3, and then after that we'll jump into page 233, okay? So hopefully this will help. If you got the wrong answer, I just want you to put the right one. So whether it's crossing it out, erasing it, and rewriting it, try to make it neat, but if I am going to go kind of fast, but you can pause the video if you need to and go back. You guys have hopefully are used to that a little bit so that so you can get these. And then if you just so you can use this to go back and study for tests and quizzes, it's very helpful to have the right answers, I have found. And then you can say, okay, well, if this is singular and this is plural, then and then this sentence, okay, it looks like this one, so it must be singular. Okay, so there's ways to help yourself with that. So number 3, friendship it's singular, okay? And then to change it to plural would be friendships are, okay? 4, duck quacks is singular. Ducks quack is plural. We just moved the S from the end of quack, put it at the end of duck to make it plural. Number 5, he prays, singular. The plural on this one would be they pray, okay? 6, we sang. The plural is it is plural, and the singular is I sang. Number 7, children say is plural. This one might be a little trickier. Child says is singular. Okay, number 8, cookies bake is plural. Cookie bakes is singular. 9, disciples preach is plural. Disciple preaches is singular. 10, the day was is singular. And the days were is plural, sorry. 11, they try, and that is plural. And then he or she tries, whichever one you had there would be fine. 12, snake hisses is singular, and so snakes hiss is plural. 13, frogs croak is plural, and then frog croaks would be the singular. People do is plural, and then a person does would be the singular. So I kind of did Think A and Think B together. So if you need to go back and hear that again, I'm going to do the same with Think C. Okay, Think C and Think D are kind of together. All right, we did 1 and 2 together. So number 3 is no, I are. So it should be I am. Number 4 is yes, we don't do anything. Number 5 is no, horses are running would be the correct. Remember, you were only changing the verb that didn't agree, okay? Number 6 is yes. 7 is also yes, they're correct. Number 8 is no, it should be soldiers march. Number 9, lady smiles is yes. Number 10, it should be eyes make. Okay, drop the S, so it's no. 10 is no. 11, 12, and 13 are all yes. Okay, so they just need to be yes. If you had something else, you can just cross that out, put no, and you don't have to worry about what comes after it. 14 is no, and plans are finished is how you should say that. 15 and 16 are both yes. Okay. 17, shopper buys should be the correct one, so no, and then shopper buys. Number 18, friend are coming. No, it should be friend is coming. So no is what you should have in the blank, and then friend is coming. 19 is no, and it should be they were. And then 20 is yes, computers solve is correct. All right, so hopefully you got those. If you didn't, make those corrections so that you can use this to study. And we're gonna look at page 233. Sometimes a prepositional phrase comes in between the subject and the verb in a sentence. So don't let this confuse you. The verb must still agree with the subject, not the object of the preposition, okay? And there is one exception, but we're not looking at that one yet. So we're going to just look at this. The sound of many voices was or were heard, okay? So in this sentence, we have a prepositional phrase between our subject and verb. So we need to find our subject and verb first. So what is our subject? Okay, it should be sound, because that's what we're talking about, right? Sound. And then our verb would be what's right here, and heard, right? So it's this, whichever one we pick, okay? And heard is the part of the verb. So what's left to be our prepositional phrase? Of many voices, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross out of many voices, because we are not gonna worry about voices. We're just gonna say this without this in here. We can say our sentence without it. Okay, the sound was or were heard. Is sound singular or plural? Is it one thing? Yeah, it's one thing, so it's singular. So put an S for singular. Which one is our singular verb? Was, remember? So we're gonna say was heard. The sound of many voices was heard is the correct way to say this. Voices, though voices is plural, it doesn't make a difference for our verb. We're not gonna base our verb on our object of the preposition, okay? So when we cross that out, we just say sound was heard. And then that's our subject and verb, okay? And so that's the very first one on your page in Think A. So go ahead, and this says to draw one line through each prepositional phrase in the sentences. Circle the subject. So instead it says to circle the subject. I did that backwards. Okay. So it says to circle the subject and to underline your verb 2 times each, and to cross out your prepositional phrase, okay? So underline the correct verb in parentheses 2 times. Now, you wouldn't have to have heard underlined, because it just says the one in parentheses, but if you do the one outside and it's part of the phrase, I'm fine with that too, okay? But if you don't see it, don't worry about that one. We'll keep working on those. Number 1, you should have sound circled, cross through of many voices, and was underlined twice, okay? Number 2, the study of subjects and verbs are or is very important. Okay, so first of all, we need to find our subject, study, okay? So circle study. And what is our, we know the verb is in parentheses, right? So what is our prepositional phrase? Okay, of subjects and verbs. I almost said the one from the first sentence. Okay, of subjects and verbs. So cross out of subjects and verbs. And now say, the study is study one, singular or plural, one thing or many? Singular, okay, so are or is, which one is singular? The study are very important, or the study is very important? Is, okay, so underline is twice. All right, number 3, we're gonna do through 4. I'll let you finish that exercise, and then we're gonna look at think B. And there is some on the back, so we'll go through those. But number 4, that wonderful collection of stories was or were sold yesterday. Okay, so we need our subject, and we need to find our prepositional phrase. Okay, our subject is collection. Okay, I hope you got that. If not, collection is our subject, because that and wonderful are adverbs describing what kind of collection, and which collection. So the collection, and then what comes right after that? Is that, where's our prepositional phrase in our sentence? Of stories, okay? So of stories is a prepositional phrase, so cross that out. So the collection was or were sold yesterday. It was, okay? Because collection, even though like there's many things in a collection, it's still considered one thing, okay? So was should be the verb, so collection circled, cross out of stories, and was is underlined twice. Okay, and then number 4, a boy from each of the rooms go or goes to the office for the announcements. Okay, so it says to cross out all those prepositional phrases, so if you find more than one, you can cross it out too. Okay, so let's see. So what's our subject? What's this talking about? The boy, right? A boy. So boy, you're going to circle boy. And we want all the prepositional phrases. And this one has 4 prepositional phrases, okay? So every time you see a new preposition, it's a new phrase, okay? From each. From is a preposition, right? Of the rooms is all, of is a preposition. And then can you find the other 2? To the office for the announcements, okay? So most of this sentence is crossed out, okay? So you're gonna cross out from each of the rooms to the office for the announcements. Now, a boy go or a boy goes. Goes, right? Because it's one boy. So it's one boy that they're talking about. That's how there are many boys from the rooms, but they say a boy, so they're just talking about the one at this time. So you're going to put boy and circle boy, underline goes twice. All right, so I'm going to let you do the rest of that on your own, and then so let's look closely. So sentences often begin with there is, here are, there was, or here were. The words there and here in such sentences are not the subject, okay? In sentences beginning with here or there, you must look carefully after the verb for the subject so that you can make the verb agree with it. Here is water in the desert. Water is here in the desert. So if you can reverse that, and you can see that. Here and there, I'm just going to note this, they're adverbs. They're answering the question where, okay? So that's why they can't be the subjects, because they're adverbs. And there are 2 sides to every question. Sides is underlined once, are is underlined twice. Sides are, or 2 sides are there to every question. And it doesn't always make full sense to rearrange it, but it is, sides are is your subject and verb. So that's what you're looking for. Okay, so on the board I have, this is the same ones that are in the, look closely. Okay, so water is, right? So water is considered one thing in this sentence. Water is here. Okay, sides are. Okay, And if you had noticed, like this is a prepositional phrase and this is a prepositional phrase. So you wouldn't have been able to find your subject or verb in those prepositional phrases, okay? So water is, sides are, okay, is how we would say that. So in the very first one, we'll do it together on your page. So think B, it says underline each subject once, underline the correct verb in parentheses twice. Okay, so this time we're just underlining our subject once, verb twice. It's pretty simple. Okay, there is or are several girls on the committee. Okay, so remember there cannot be a subject. So we look after the verb for our subject. Okay, so our verb is or are. Several girls on the committee. So what's the main word that we're talking about? The main thing. Girls, right? So we underline girls once. And is girls singular or plural? Plural, right? It's more than one. So what's our plural verb? Is or are? Are. Girls are. Okay? Girls are on the committee. All right. So that's number one. I will let you do the rest of these on your own for that one. Let me we'll look at think C and remember D briefly. So you're gonna finish think A, finish think B. It finishes on the next page. And then think C, the verb has is singular and have is plural. Fill in the blank with has or have. Okay, so you're not changing any form of this, you're writing has or have, okay? So we'll do the first two together, okay? So that first line. A pin has or have a head, but has or have no hair, okay? So is pin singular or plural? It's singular, so it says has is singular, so we're going to use has. A pin has a head, but has no hair because this is still talking about the pin. So has goes in both of those, all right? So read them carefully, make sure that you have the right one in those, and then remember D is write the abbreviation for the part of speech above each word in the following Bible verses, okay? So that's just a review of our parts of speech. So if you have questions on that, you can look back. Let's see, there's an exercise on page 228. It's think C at the very top of the page that you were marking or parts of speech. So go back to that first, and if you're still struggling, you can go back farther in the book. But hopefully that will help you to label these, okay? So that's what we're doing today, and you are, so I'll let you go ahead and get to that, and then I will see you in the next lesson. Have a good day.